afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Three Things at Three. Look who I have with me.
I'm here.
Live and in person.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I just want to know where that baby is.
He is taking his nap.
What?
You know what?
What are
For
you
the sake of
talking
everyone, let's just make sure the kid naps, and then he can be his happy, playful self.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, I'm so happy to have not only Jess here with me, but I also have another favorite daughter with me in the house today as well. So welcome to Three Things at Three, where theme number one is something to smile about. Theme number two is something to learn. Theme number three is something to discover. Let's go. All right, welcome back to Three Things at Three. Oh my goodness, can you see the giddiness on me? Like it's just like overcoming my emotional self is just so dang excited for today.
Yes, we're
because
excited.
I have Jess here, but I also have my second oldest daughter, Katie. Hello, hello.
Hi.
And so excited to have these two with me. In fact, I had to laugh. I don't know if you can see what the little subtitles are down below, but Abby put in Jess Smith, favorite daughter. And then she has Katie Klump, favorite daughter. Phew, thanks, Abby, for taking care of me.
And Rachel is not.
Yeah, where's Rachel? Where's Rachel? She's going to be joining us later on this week for another Three Things
She
at
wanted
Three.
her own show.
Yeah, right. Can you tell she's the youngest?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, Jess, how's your trip been out west so far?
So fun, so fun. We're so excited to be here because, I don't know, it's just been so long. We've been here, what was it, Christmas? We were here last? So
yes.
Bridger has grown a ton. He's crawling, he's climbing. We have entered a whole new era of babyhood.
You have.
So
He's absolutely adorable.
yeah, I know. We're having lots of fun.
We said, we made the joke this weekend that, we said, tell us you're the only grandchild without telling us you're the only grandchild. Am I right, Katie?
Yeah.
Yeah, because all the attention goes to him.
Absolutely. If he does something, everyone claps.
Yeah.
Everyone claps.
And he'll start clapping, and then all of a sudden you see everyone else in the family. Yay!
I know. That's just how it is.
We are all just completely doting on the kid.
Yeah.
And it's just
having
too
a blast.
fun. Like, we love having you and McKay here, but there's nothing having Bridger Boy
We
here.
know where the priorities are.
Yeah.
I mean, like, grandkids are welcome, parents by appointment.
Yeah. There you go. Exactly.
That was clever.
Is that what you're telling us? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I gave you that grandparent plaque.
Yes.
Oh,
And
that's right.
Those are the first two lines on there.
It's hanging proudly in our home, Katie,
That's
which
right.
I absolutely love. Well, everyone, not only am I so excited to have these two with me, just to share a little bit of our family with you, but we also are going to be talking about favorite summer vacations this past summer. I can't believe summer is almost over.
I know.
Can you believe it?
That's really crazy to think about. Summer goes by so fast.
It really does. And it
fast.
has for sure. And so we thought it would be kind of fun this week to have this one be our theme. How about fabric postcards inspired by our summer travels? Why not?
Why not?
Why not? So we've had some summer travels lately as a family.
Yeah.
And so all this week, that is what we're going to talk about. We're going to be talking about fabric postcards. I know many of you absolutely love making them. Some of you have never may never have made a fabric postcard. I'd love to hear in the comments, how many of you have made them before? Let us know in the comments. How many of you are going, what exactly is a fabric postcard?
Those of us who don't know what they are. I mean, now I know.
Now, right?
I said, this is a thing
how do
I
you
didn't
make
know.
a fabric postcard? Do you actually take a postcard and then put fabric over it? And
We shall see.
We're going to show them, right?
Yes, we're going to show you today. And so each day, one of our contributors is sharing something from their family vacation and being able to kind of, really hone in on a quilting technique that is based off of or inspired by that particular vacation. So
I'm
I'm kind of excited about it.
I'm excited.
So I decided to have these two girls on with me today because we just got back from
Bear Lake.
Bear Lake. And for those of you who may not have heard of Bear Lake, let's tell them a little bit about this. It is on the border of Idaho and Utah.
It's basically split.
Right at the very tippy top of Utah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it is gorgeous. Look at these photographs. So, so beautiful. And the actual kind of nickname for Bear Lake is the Caribbean of the Rockies.
Which I was
Caribbean
like,
of the
what?
Rockies.
That's the nickname? But I think that's so awesome. They've got like t-shirts and everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Caribbean of the Rockies.
Absolutely. And it's kind of very fitting because the reason why it was adapted that name was because of the waters being so incredibly blue.
They are. It is so blue.
Yeah.
It's not like a brown, murky
No.
lake. Like it's blue
Like
all
it's
throughout.
not clear,
No.
and it's not like the murky green.
Yeah.
But it's just like completely
Beautiful
blue.
blue, right?
Beautiful blue.
Love it.
It's one of our family's favorite places to go, and especially because it literally is about a 45-minute drive up Logan Canyon. So for any of you who have never been to Bear Lake, and if you happen to be in the Utah area, you might want to check it out because it is absolutely beautiful. The drive is gorgeous.
It is.
It's a little windy getting up there.
Yeah.
Am I right?
But you know what?
But
Take it slow. Enjoy the
Exactly.
views.
Exactly.
It's so
I mean,
it's so
Logan
beautiful.
Canyon is a beautiful place to be in at any time, especially during the
Anytime.
fall.
Oh, yes, the
I
fall
would
is
totally
gorgeous.
agree with you, Katie. And, again, it's 45 minutes. Now, there's a couple things that Bear Lake is also famous for. One being the Bear Lake Monster.
Yes.
Okay, the Bear Lake
Yeah.
Monster, it's a real thing, apparently.
Like
No,
the Loch
no one's
Ness.
seen
Not
it,
so
but
sure.
you know.
And then, of course, the raspberry shake. Am I right?
You can't go
Yes.
to Bear Lake without a raspberry shake.
No, you've got to have a raspberry
Even
shake.
if you get there like 10 in the morning, it's always time for a raspberry shake.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Heidi is asking in the comments how long of a drive. It's about 45 minutes is all, Heidi. So if you, I know you're coming out to Tug. If you get a chance, make a trip up to Bear Lake. It is absolutely gorgeous, so beautiful. And like I said, it's one of our family's most favorite places to go visit.
I know.
So this last weekend, we had 19 of us.
Teen. I know.
All together, which in one house, that's always a treat.
You know, we had a blast.
Yeah, we did.
We stayed up late.
We played games,
ate
together
all the
puzzles.
snacks,
Well, we-
all the food.
Exactly.
We tried putting together that puzzle.
Yes,
Oh,
we
yeah.
tried putting together a puzzle. We
Yeah,
tried.
We tried.
But we had so many fun things to do that,
Yeah.
like, the time just ran out so quickly. So,
So fast.
our family and Kim's family got together, and of course brought Mom along with us as well, which was great fun. But we wanted to share with you a kind of a fun little idea that maybe you and your family might be interested in doing. So let's take a look at some video that I took, because when you're back at the house at night, you're kind of going, okay, what should we do together that brings us all together? And we have 19 people. It's kind of hard to...
Card games are
You know.
hard, you know.
Exactly.
19 people trying to do a puzzle's hard, you know,
Exactly.
like
So-
different things.
I mean,
so
like you're taking different pieces of the puzzle and you're trying to figure out, okay, does this person have this?
yeah,
Does this person have that?
exactly.
Exactly.
So we came up with
Yep.
this idea, and
All
it was
right,
a
let's
blast.
take a look. Let's take a look at what's going on here. So what we decided to do was we just picked up some canvas pieces from, Hobby Lobby, picked up some paint. There's Mom, Grandma.
She's having the hardest time.
And we decided, you know what, let's all draw names. So we drew names. Nobody knew who you had. And your mission was to
draw a portrait
to paint
of them.
a portrait of them, right? And you couldn't actually pencil it out first. You just had to just go for it and just paint the person. And again, nobody else knew who you were painting, so it was top secret. And then at the end, we revealed everyone's portraits and got together, and we haven't laughed so hard in such a long time.
So
Am I right?
funny. Let's just say, painting art isn't for everyone.
Exactly.
But at least they tried.
I mean, it's fun to
Yeah.
do. That's the important
We
part.
had a good time. And then there were some we were pleasantly surprised
Yeah.
how well it was. It's like,
Some of them blew us away. Like, look at Kennedy. Oh my goodness
know,
gracious!
Kennedy
Like, that
did a
was
great
incredible.
job.
Robbie
Christian.
did an amazing
yeah,
job.
Robbie did. Jeez.
So again, we had no idea who each other was painting. So at the very end, we revealed there's Ryan showing off,
Jacob,
and
and then-
Jacob showing off Kennedy. Kennedy showing off Christian. I mean, look at these. And it was an absolute riot.
Some of them we had to guess. We're like, who could that be?
Who could that be? I told Jacob that he was lucky he had Kennedy because she was the only blonde in the group.
Yes, easy to pick.
So
Oh,
we
and then
just-
there's Grandma.
Oh yeah,
the
who's
red
all-
hat.
She's
the
the party
animal.
animal. We just cracked up at this picture of my mom.
Oh.
And then, doesn't that look just like Mike? I mean, Robbie did a great job. Kim, poor Kim. Mike had her, and that was a little not so sure.
Oh yeah. McKay
there's-
had Matt.
Matt was an easy one. He's the only one with a mustache.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, Katie and her purple streak in her hair.
Yeah.
I was lucky. I was able to get Jess on mine.
Bridger gave it away.
I told
Bridger
Rob,
gave it
I had to
away.
give Rob a bad time because that was my jack-o'-lantern nose.
I know. There's just a triangle. Just a triangle.
So anyway,
funny.
it was great fun. If you're looking for just one of those activities that will bring a big group together, this might be the one, because I promise, I guarantee lots of laughs, great
Tons.
memories, and I'm going to proudly hang up that jack-o'-lantern nose of mine up in my office. I'm just here to tell you. Why not?
Why not?
So
Why
there
not?
you go.
It was
There's a
cute.
little peek into our family vacation weekend. So
That was fun.
Gotta
All
show off my
right.
purple streak.
yes, you had the purple
That gave it
streak
away
in your
too.
hair. That was a dead giveaway for sure. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and dive into today's project, shall we? As I mentioned earlier, all this week we are going to be sharing fabric postcards inspired from our summer travels. And we're going to share a technique that is going to fit in with that fabric postcard. So I've been seeing in the comments that many of you have never done a fabric postcard before or have never heard of one. So I'm super excited to be able to show you how one is done. That technique is going to lead to the base for everyone else this week of how to create their creations. So let's head over to theme number 2, and I'm going to have these two daughters of mine, wonderful, beautiful daughters, aren't they? They're going to join me over at the sewing machine. And while we do so, let's go ahead and take a look at the Baby Lock seal. What I want to do is I want to start first off with the Baby Lock Zest.
Very good beginner entry-level machine. On the Zest, it has 15 built-in stitches. That's quite a bit.
That is.
It has a 4-step buttonhole, so what you have to do is you have to actually turn the dial
Okay.
to do a buttonhole, but even still, that is pretty amazing.
All right, so it was the Zest. Not the
Tomato,
seal.
tomato.
Exactly.
That's
I know.
fine.
It's still a great little beginner machine.
It is great.
For any child in your life. So
Or
I
a
think
little
it's a good
travel
one.
one. On your
Exactly.
vacations.
On your vacations.
There you go.
go. All right, friends. So let's talk about fabric postcards. What are they exactly? Well, just like a postcard is usually 4 by 6 inches. That's exactly the size that you want to do a fabric postcard. Now, you don't want it any larger. The mail has specifically said if you're going to do a fabric postcard, it's got to be 4 by 6.
Okay.
Okay.
Noted.
So noted, exactly. Now, Katie, you were asking earlier, are we talking about doing like a postcard
Putting
that
fabric
you put
over?
fabric over
Yeah.
top? Not quite. All right, you
a
ready for
little
this, Katie?
different.
Okay.
Okay, this is going to be a little bit
Prepare
different.
to be amazed.
So, and don't you worry one bit. I got you all covered. Here we go. We've got some technique sheets for you today. So let me go ahead and walk you through real quick about the steps of creating a fabric postcard. So the first thing you want to have is a piece of like a thick stabilizer, all right? So right here is one that I cut out 4 by 6. This is using Kimberbell's shape form.
Okay.
This seemed to be the perfect
So you want it to be pretty
size.
stiff.
Yeah,
You don't want like a foam.
Exactly.
Okay.
You don't want foam. You don't, because actually the postcard also, another thing that requirement from the post office is that it can't be larger than a 1/4 inch thick, all right?
So you're saying you can actually mail these?
Absolutely, you can
What?
mail these. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can absolutely mail
Learn
these.
something new. That's why you're
And-
saying it needs to be 4 by 6.
Yes.
And okay.
Yes,
I thought you were just
exactly.
doing like
They
the
can-
play on thing.
Yeah,
You're like,
right,
postcard.
yeah. No, it's
You
a
can
4
mail
by
them.
6.
There you go.
And then, so go ahead and you create what you want on the fabric postcard. You adhere it to it, and then you're just going to do a stitch around it. And that is as easy as it is. Now, you also can put a backing on it so that you can certainly write a message. You can mail it, the stamp goes on it and everything. Now, if you wanted to, Jess, you could also put it in a clear envelope. All right, so for example, if you didn't want it to get ruined, if you were worried about it, some of the charm, I think, is that there is printing and everything on there, but if you wanted it to be really, really special and didn't want it to be ruined, you could put it in a clear envelope.
Okay.
And it would work perfectly. So it says, Barb right here is saying that she got one in the mail from a friend years ago. And did you just treasure that, Barb? Because
So fun.
very few times do we receive something in the mail that we actually enjoy nowadays.
Let me just say, my husband hates getting mail. Absolutely hates it. I think I put him on the do not mail list. You know, that's the, you can like request for 5 years or something to like not mail like,
Not
you
get all
know.
the junk mail?
Yeah, like informational things, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously there's some mail that we can't,
Right.
you know, but like promotions or things like that.
Yes,
So
exactly.
that's so funny.
So how about a fabric postcard
Fabric
instead?
postcard, I think he would keep. I don't think he would throw that away.
Well, Jess, let's go ahead and take a look at the finished fabric postcard.
'Kay.
Because I want to show you what was my inspiration was. And I've got it right here. You can see right here that, of course, we were at Bear Lake, right? And at Bear Lake, you've got lots of blue water. I also found this fabric that I absolutely loved.
That is
because
perfect.
Wasn't it perfect? And
The sunsets are
the sunset,
unreal.
Absolutely.
I miss those.
And then you've got the mountains back here. All right. And then you have the sand here. So this is what my postcard ended up being like. And you can see that it's nice and strong, you know, very durable. And I have stitching all the way around the outside.
Did you just serge the edges here?
I actually did serge the edge, and I'm
I
going to
like
talk
that
about
nice
that.
finished look.
Exactly. It really cleans it off very nicely. And in fact, if you wanted to, let's grab this one too, because
Oh, you made a
I made a
little
bookmark. I
bookmark.
had leftover fabric that I had pieced, and I'm going to show you how to do this curved piecing here today. But this was a bookmark. Now, let me show you the difference. I don't know how well you can tell here, Jess, but which one looks nicer? Go ahead and say it. Which one is a
I'm
more
gonna say
beautiful
this
look?
one.
Yep, this one is. And that's because this one I did on the sewing machine.
I would say satin stitch on the sewing machine.
Exactly.
It like, I don't
It's
know.
not really easy to do
No.
on the sewing machine.
No.
If any
It
of
looks
you
like
have
it
ever
bulks
tried
it
to
up a
do
little
that,
bit more.
Yes, and it's just really hard to get a nice clean edge. Now, it can certainly be done, but look how much prettier this edge is. This was done on, again, on the serger using a 3-thread narrow overlock, and I used decorative threads. in my upper and lower loopers.
You did. I can see that
So
there. That's cute.
It actually gives just a little bit more substance to it and a pretty shine.
Well, what's also nice, I will say, is it's going to cut off your edge and you can do your corners a lot easier too.
Exactly.
You're not
Yeah.
having to like,
Yeah.
I don't know, turn it awkwardly and all of that.
Exactly. So let's take a look at what the technique is that I was trying to illustrate in this fabric postcard, because if you know this technique, you can do this technique on anything. In fact, I've seen large quilts made with what we call improv curved piecing. All right, improv curved piecing. So how do you do that? Let's take a look. So we've got our little caterpillar here because I thought this would be perfect.
I'm seeing this in person for the first time.
Do you love it?
It is amazing.
Yeah.
I am like blown away. And when you guys see this, the fabric on here,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
It's kind of fun.
So nice. Okay, so we got to turn on our light.
Yep. We're just going to turn it on a single level. It actually has 4 levels of light here. But go ahead and we start out with 2 strips, and they can be as wide as you want them to be. I made mine to be 3 inches.
3 inches.
Or it could be 2.5 inches. Actually, did I do 2.5 or 3? Now I'm trying to remember. 2.5. Okay. So 2.5 inches, 3 inches, it doesn't matter. If I were doing a large quilt, I would probably do it a little bit wider, but it's completely up to you. Now, this is the reason why I love the caterpillar, is because you can see the overlap here. And what I asked Jessica to do was to put 2 pieces together, right sides up. Both of the pieces of fabric are going to have right sides up. That's really, really important. And you overlap by approximately 1 inch, 1.5 inches, all right? And if you don't have a light box that you can use this on, then simply go to your cutting mat and you're going to measure how, you know, what the difference is, because you want it to overlap by about 1 inch, 1.5 inches. But because I can see the light, this is going to be super easy, Jess.
To cut, right?
Exactly, because you want to cut and make sure those lines are in between the overlap.
Because we're going to cut both pieces at the same time.
Exactly.
And you want them to have that same curve. Say if I went off here,
Yes.
it's not going to catch this.
Exactly.
And it won't work out when you go to the sewing machine.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
All right, so let's go ahead and move this over so that we can use our little magnets to hold it in place.
Genius.
And then
just
Jess,
say.
let's take the rotary cutter. When you do this, you want to make sure and have a very sharp rotary cutter. And what I'd like you to do is you're going to start here at the bottom. Let me move this up a little bit. There we go. I want you to start at the bottom in the middle and do about a 1/2 inch cut straight.
Just straight.
And
Okay.
the reason for this is because this is going to be, if you will do this, it's going to be so much easier when it comes time to sew that I have a straight piece to start my sewing. Now, you're going to go about 1/2 inch in straight, and then I want you to do just a gentle curve. Nothing too crazy, but just a gentle curve all the way down. Are you ready?
Here I go.
Okay,
Here we
ready or
go.
not, right?
All right. So about a 1/2 inch.
Yep.
And then we're just going to gentle curve.
I like it. And then when you go out, go straight out at the very end.
Okay.
Okay, you can see that. All right, so now that we have those 2 strips cut apart, go ahead and remove the magnets.
Okay.
And there's 2 pieces of fabric we need to remove, and it's those little pieces.
So
we've
the
got
one
that
up here.
and we've got that one. Now look at how well those 2 fit together.
That's so cool.
Yes, I love it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're doing improv curved piecing. So there's no right or wrong way to create your curve. It just has to be a nice gentle curve. So Jess, if we were putting right sides together, we would do that. But one thing to do beforehand is I like to take the little white chalk pencil and do just like maybe 3 different markings, where I like to see that there's a top and a bottom on both sides. So we're doing a little mark on this side and then a little mark across from it. That just helps me at the sewing machine because I'm actually not going to do any pinning. A lot of people are nervous about curved piecing because you've got to, make sure it's so straight and you've got lots of pins. We don't have to do that with this one.
Okay.
But show everyone what happens when we put right sides together.
It looks a little scary.
It does, doesn't it? Look at that, friends.
How is that going to go together?
How is that going to go together? You've got overlap here, overlap there. It's not matching up, right? So how do you sew this together? Well, let me show you.
Okay.
The first thing is, because Jess, you cut that at a straight edge, that gives my machine something to hold on to. That's very,
good
very
starting
easy,
point.
right?
Okay.
So let's head over here to the machine. And I'm going to sew this together. And one of the things I want you to do whenever you're doing curved piecing is to shorten your stitch length. All right?
Oh, okay. Shorten the stitch length.
Shorten the stitch length.
Okay.
So my stitch length would normally be like 2.0, but I'm going to shorten it to maybe be more of a 1.6. All right?
Okay.
The shorter stitch length is going to really help along those curves.
Okay.
All right, so let's take it over to the machine here. Again, it looks really ski-wampus right now, but don't you worry. And I have my needle set to be at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. All right, let's take a look. Now that I've got a few stitches in, this is the key to having a great curved piece being sewn together. Watch carefully. What you want to do is you don't want to lay them one on top of the other. Let me know in the comments if you've done curved piecing before. Has it been difficult? Has it been easy? Do you pin? Do you not pin? I'd love to hear what your experience has been. Because what I'm going to do, you'll see here, is you always want to take your top piece and hold it up as you sew. As you sew, let the presser foot go against the bottom one, but don't worry about the top. You only have to worry about the stitch where the needle is. Don't be thinking too far ahead, all right? So you're gonna see that I've got this lifted up and I place it down as I stitch. As that needle gets closer, my top fabric comes down. As it gets closer, the top fabric goes down. But notice that I don't have a lot of curves happening right or, to the right or to the left. It's staying fairly straight, but this piece is coming down as the needle gets closer. Now, remember how Jess marked with the little pencil lines? This also kind of helps me keep track that, okay, I'm in the right position. I'm not too far off. All right, so I'm just kind of placing those on top of each other. Linda says she's never done curves. Oh, I'm so excited for you, Linda, that you're watching today, and I hope you find this tutorial to be helpful. Okay. All right, so does curved piecing take a little longer than a straight piece? Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the results are pretty dang cool. All right. Katie, are you about ready for me? Because I'm about ready for you, girl.
Steady.
All right, one of the other things you could do is when you get to this very point, you could take a stiletto, or you could take some tweezers and be able to kind of hold on to this, because I know it can get kind of tricky to hold on to the end. All right. Another thing about curved piecing is it can be very forgiving.
I was just about to say that. I feel like this is something that can be very forgiving, so don't
Definitely, don't
think
fret
too much about it.
See right here, I was a little off right there, but my seam allowance was a little smaller as well. But when I take this, and I'm going to give this to Caitlin right now, and she's going to press it out, that
You're not gonna
piecing is
tell.
going to go out just fine. All right, Katie, let's take a look at that. You notice that Katie is just kind of doing a little finger press first before she begins. And now let's take the iron to it. Yeah, Lacey, very good point. She said that oversized blocks, then trimmed down, is helpful for me with curved piecing. And I agree 1,000% with you,
great
Lacey.
idea.
Yes. And this definitely is an oversized block. Wow, nice job, Caitlin. Okay, so take a look at this. That one's done.
Nice.
Okay, love this, right?
Love it.
So what do we do next?
We got to do the next piece.
We got to add the next piece. So
Yeah.
here we go, Jess.
All right. Gonna bring this back over here. Should we do this
Which color do you
piece?
want to do next?
Let's do the blue.
Okay,
Oh, I just made a mistake.
what's that?
I was about to do right sides together.
Ah, not
But
yet.
For cutting, you're having right sides up.
Both sides are right sides up. Good point there.
Caught
Okay.
myself. There we go.
And you can see your
Yes.
overlap with the light.
You wouldn't be able to see that on a regular mat because of
No.
how dark this is.
Exactly.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you're going to use your little magnets to kind of hold it in place. And now we do another curve. And you don't have to follow the same curve. In fact, you can
Okay.
be very, very different.
I'm gonna go the opposite way.
Okay, let's
see,
do it.
See if I'm coordinated enough.
Okay, so again, you're going straight in at a 1/2 inch. Linda has a great question. She's asking, do the strips have to be cut on the bias? And the answer is no. They do not have to be. And Barb, I actually don't try to open the seams when pressing. I find it just to be easier to have them go naturally to the side that they want to go to. Great questions. All right, let's take a look. You're taking away the 2 little strips. Now this is perfectly sewn comes together.
Okay.
Now let's go ahead and mark in a few places.
Set those here. All right, so I'll do. Oops. That's okay if I move
And
it.
again, this
'cause-
is just like this little added measure of safety for me. So that
It doesn't have to be perfect, right?
No, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just kind of marking my hills and valleys a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, now when you do that, you're going to put right sides together, but take a look, everyone, what happens. That it's like way off, isn't it?
That is like intimidating. Like, how is that
Right.
going to come
How's
together?
that going to match up,
'Kay.
right? I mean, look at that. How does that match up? Well, again, let's take it over to the sewing machine and let the machine do the work for us. So when it comes, again, to doing gentle piecing, gentle curves, you do not need to pin. In fact, pinning would probably make it a little bit more cumbersome.
I was gonna say
Right?
probably they would just get in the way.
Exactly.
They wouldn't allow the fabric to just
Just ease right in.
wave together.
Oh, there you go.
You know,
Just wave
I'm very
together.
clever.
I feel like when you're pinning, it's better when it's more straight, but when you're doing curving, it's better to have it flow.
Exactly. I totally agree, Katie. That's a great point. Okay, so let's take a look again. I'm going to start at the beginning. I have my straight edge, and let's do a few stitches. Okay, I've got a few stitches in, and now what am I going to do? I'm going to lift this up. Again, keep this up. If you're trying to do it, if you're trying to match, I promise you it's not going to work. It just will not work. It is frustrating and causes a lot of puckers. So keep this one down, follow this with your 1/4 inch, keep this one on top, and just lay it down as the needle gets to it. Okay, you can see I'm getting a little faster here. Up. Notice that also when it came time to press it, I didn't even clip the seam allowances.
Oh, you didn't?
That's right. Because again, it's a very gentle curve. And I am sewing at a 1/4 inch seam from my edge. Okay. All right. I'm going to trim that up. All right, so Terry, yes, I'm stitching a 1/4 inch. Let me show the camera right here so you can see that 1/4 inch right there. See, I am sewing a 1/4 inch from the edge of the fabric, but Terry, I'm only focused on the bottom fabric, the bottom layer, and then I I keep this up top. Remember, I'm holding it up above and bringing it down as the needle gets to the edge. All right, so I've got a gentle curve here. You can see it right there. Katie's going to press this out for me, and it's going to come out beautiful. Here you go, Caitlin.
Thank you.
Okay. It's got that nice hot iron. You definitely want to use a nice hot iron. And I would even say with some steam. Do you know how this works with steam, Katie? Have I showed you? 'Cause
Is there a button here?
yeah, we're gonna say it's, you called it a name earlier.
Okay, Mr. Darth Vader here.
Exactly, yes, exactly.
The Bear Lake Monster.
Yeah, there you go. It's a Bear Lake Monster. So you can see right here, look what's happening.
My gosh.
And this will be the top of mine. Okay,
That's so cool.
Pretty fun, right? All right, so you just continue this same method of just sewing strip by strip by strip, overlapping. Make sure right sides are together. Just do that gentle curve and you will have beautiful curved piecing. And this is something that
So
you can
fun.
do on a quilt. So
I
I'm
say
just showing you
quilt.
on a small fabric postcard is all.
You could do
right?
long strips. You could have a
Yes.
variation of sizes.
A beautiful table runner would be so
I'm
pretty.
thinking a pillow.
A pillow would be perfect. Yeah.
That would be
So
Have
so
your
lots of
little
options here.
family vacations just all in a row on a pillow.
Yes, that would be
Yes.
fun. You know what else could be fun? I mean, we got some pretty dang cute pictures of little Bridger boy playing in the sand, right? Wouldn't
So
it be
cute.
great to just add a little picture onto the fabric
Oh
postcard?
my gosh.
You know,
That'd be
just over
so
top.
cute.
I mean, you can be as creative as you want.
I love that.
In this kind of a project. Really, really, really fun. Now, the final one that I did on this one was just using some brown leather. And again, we're not
great
going to
idea.
show that on this, but it's the same technique. All right, it's the same technique.
Regardless of the material.
Exactly. And so, but this one, in fact, Jess, why don't you go ahead and just do a quick curve there? And we're not going to overlap it.
Oh, we're not?
Not on this one because
Okay.
I'm using leather, and so I'm
hard to
actually
see.
going to create a top stitch on this one.
Oh,
I'm not
great
going
idea.
to bring right sides together. So
Okay.
go ahead and just do any kind of curve you want.
Oh.
All right, Lisa says she's not understanding this method. Lisa, what questions do you have? And let me know in the comments so that I can hopefully help explain that a little bit better.
I was going to say, you also have a technique sheet for everyone
We
that
do.
you can
Yeah.
use and refer to.
So you can see here that because this is leather, I don't really want to place right sides together. I think it's going to be too bulky of a seam. So I just went ahead and just put it right on top, and then I just did a top stitch all the way down.
That's how you
So
did it.
That's it. That's
Well,
it.
because then you'd have to press it open and it probably wouldn't give you
A
much.
really
Wouldn't
good
give you a
seam,
lot
right?
of-
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Give. It
Right,
wouldn't give.
exactly. So now you have the fabric postcard, right? And you would just place this on top. Of course, we did some pretty big curves here.
just to show, but
Just to show. But
you
if
would
you
do
take a look
smaller.
at this one, I've got lots of different blues in here, and then the sand. And I quilted it once it was attached. So what you would do is you just add a little bit of like 505 spray adhesive, attach it, and then you would just flip this over and trim. Now, here's a really important tip for you all. When it comes time to trimming, absolutely 100%, 1,000%, mark my words, you're gonna want to use a ruler and you're gonna trim. Ask me how I know. Because my first time, I didn't use a ruler. I was like, oh, I got this. And then, zoop,
Oh,
it went
geez.
off. Yeah, that wasn't too
now
good.
if 4 by 6 is more like 3 1/4 by 6.
Exactly, exactly. So you definitely want to use a ruler there and then trim it up. And you just trim it up that way. Now on the back, I did use Kimberbell fusible backing.
Love
on
it.
the back here.
Love it.
So you quilt all the way through it, add that, trim everything up, and then you just do a simple, you could do a zigzag stitch if you wanted
Oh,
to
yeah,
on your
yeah.
sewing machine. It doesn't have to be a satin stitch. You could do a zigzag stitch. You could use it on the serger. You could do whatever you want here. You could bind it. In fact, Allison's demo tomorrow,
Wow.
she's binding hers. However, what I read is for the post office, they don't want them bound.
Really?
They want it just as a simple zigzag stitch, unless you could put it in that clear envelope. and
Oh,
then
there you go.
Could have it
Then you
bound.
could have it bound.
So something important. So
Good tip.
yes, someone asked, would you quilt it before you trim? It's up to you.
You could.
You could. You could, or if you're feeling pretty confident about your quilting not, coming in further, you could do it afterwards.
Yep.
Whatever was easier for you. Okay. Ray has a great question. She asked, "What about a wave stitch on the serger?" Yes.
Oh my goodness.
That would be perfect. You could absolutely do a wave
The
stitch
ultimate
on
wave.
it.
I love it.
The ultimate wave. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. So I want to remind you all that we've got technique sheets right here. Woo! I've got Make a Fabric Postcard. Okay, let's go ahead and turn this little light off. Okay, so Make a Fabric Postcard. This is going to be your basic instructions on how to create the postcard itself. All right, and these are the same instructions you're going to want to use throughout every day this week. Okay, when we do fabric postcards. So that is a free technique sheet found on our website, and I also did this one for you all. Improv
so nice.
curved piecing. I try to think through all the things.
You do.
Right?
You
So
really
Lisa,
do.
hopefully you will find this to be helpful, is that I've given you step-by-step instructions on how these pieces come together. And you can also find this as a free technique sheet on our website. And
awesome.
yes, Linda, the technique sheets will also be found in the club. If you want to keep them in your library at the club, they are found there as well. You also, here's something else that I have added to our technique sheets, is that if we talk about it on 3 Themes at 3, we're also going to put a date on there so that it's easier for you to find the video.
You guys
All
think
right?
through everything.
So, we do our best. We do
Wow.
our best.
That was really
So
nice.
Right here,
It's
you
a lot
can
of work.
see us seen on 3 Themes at 3, August 9th. Or no, it's August 12th, excuse me, August 12th. So
Whoops.
anyway, yeah. There you go. So, all right. Barb asked, where would you get the clear themes for mailing? Amazon has them. In fact, I gave one to Allison today that she'll show you tomorrow, but it's just a clear envelope and it's perfect. It's a 4x6. It works beautifully. And then that way, if you're trying to keep the
Maybe because of weather
postcard
or
nice,
whatever.
yeah, because it's going to go through the mail, right? It's
Yeah.
going to be, But I'll tell you, fabric postcards are so much fun. You could add quilt blocks to them. You could do all kinds of things. But this week we're going to
so
show you
fun.
4 different techniques with those. So, all
a fun
right,
week.
friends. Yes.
That is up ahead.
Yes, a great
it.
week up ahead. Let's go head over to theme number 3. And speaking of weeks, did you miss last week? Last week was all about in the kitchen. That was
Such a fun week.
That was a great week. We
So
loved
fun.
it. So
I said, you guys need to have your own cooking show too.
Oh no. Cooking. I don't know so much.
I don't know. I
can do-
tried those button cookies. They were delicious.
Well, thank you, Jess.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe I had 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
I
or
lost
so.
count.
All right, friends. Let's take a quick recap of what happened last week on 3 Themes at 3, because it's never too late to take a look and learn so many great new themes. So let's check it out, and we'll see you back over for theme number 3.
My quilting radar went off.
Have you discovered 3 at 3 yet?
3 at 3 is a lifestyle show that explores everything sewing, quilting, and your creative lifestyle.
This show is at the center of a community of like-minded people. You can ask questions,
Barb wants to know what? No costumes.
comment, and interact with your friends around the globe. And at the same time, learn from seasoned sewing and quilting pros.
The Girlfriend community is about as authentic as it gets. The conversations are fun.
I made this delicious peach pie with a cup of salt.
The instruction is great, but we'll walk you through projects and show you tips and tricks to get your sewing projects done.
And provide some inspiration for your next sewing project as well.
So join us every Monday through Thursday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time for 3 at 3, where we always have something to make you smile, something to learn, and something to discover. Let's go.
Okie dokie. What'd you think?
So fun.
Did you learn something new, Katie?
Yes. That was a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
I just thought, if you do a postcard, you could probably do like a little signature or something with the embroidery machine.
That's an excellent idea. Absolutely.
Add
And
your
really
name.
personalize it with your name.
Yeah,
I
a
love
great
that
idea.
idea. Let me tell you something else that when it comes to fabric postcards or for any kind of project, especially if you're doing landscape quilting, is that when it comes to landscape quilting, like you saw in this postcard, you can do all kinds of stitches on your sewing
yeah.
machine to actually add to the look of the quilting that you're doing. So it doesn't have to be just straight stitches. On mine, I'm following the line and everything, but I want to show you, let's take a look at some photos that I recently discovered that also show how people have taken the stitches on their home sewing machine, added to it, used different weights of thread, like this one seen from Christine Baker. Isn't that a beautiful flower?
Wow.
And she used a heavier weight thread. Okay,
Oh, that's
here.
gorgeous.
Eileen from Fiber Art Quilts did this gorgeous wave. And if you can
Wow.
get a look at the stitches that she used here, you're going to notice not just straight stitches, but again, according to what stitches you have on your machine, what weights of thread you're using, what colors of thread. I love this. Here's another ocean one. I think oceans are really kind of fun to do. This is from Neroli Henderson from textileartist.org. Do you see it in the sky?
The sky, it's got its own little design going.
Like
Looks
a
like
little
all
radiant
these.
it has.
Yes, I mean, look at the stitches.
All
and
the
those
decorative
stitches
stitches.
are found on your sewing machine.
Oh my
Isn't that
gosh.
fantastic?
You really can create some art.
You really can. And this is from onthetrailcreations.com. Another absolutely gorgeous quilt. Look at the gentle curved piecing that is found here, just like we talked about today. And then again, she's showing some great stitches on the home sewing machine of how to do that. So there's
Almost
some
looks like a
ideas for
picture.
you.
Yeah, it does look like a picture.
It really
That is
does.
so fun.
It really does, yeah. Anne
Wow.
Marie says her seagulls are amazing. Yeah,
Yes.
she is a very, very talented quilt artist for sure.
That is
So,
cool.
Yeah.
That just takes it to another level.
It does.
Like you could just do the curved piecing, but
Yeah.
when you actually it's almost like embellishing it,
Yes.
right? You're almost embellishing the art and adding,
Yeah.
just elevating it.
Absolutely.
So cool.
Okay, can I tell you all something else we're super excited about? Oh my goodness! Are you guys ready for this?
You ready?
I have been chomping at the bit for this. I'm so excited. This was an idea that came to me one night. Well, I have to.
Oh, boy.
Let me give. I know.
Oh boy.
Let me give Eric some credit here. Okay, so Eric and I, he's like my cohort in crime here as we come up with different ideas for shows and segments and things. And he said to me one day, he said, Kris, what do you enjoy doing besides quilting? Like if you could do other things at home and stuff, what is something else you love to do? And of course I love to cook and I love
would
to
say
bake.
baking.
And so
Yeah.
we've had a show on that. But another thing that I love to do is I love to read.
Oh,
I know
yes.
both of my girls
Oh, my
are
gosh.
big time readers.
Big time.
You give them a book and they are absolutely enthralled in reading. And so one night I was laying down and I was thinking about that conversation and I thought, well, I do love to read, and what's something that we could do that would incorporate reading with 3 at 3. So are you ready for this?
I'm excited about this. I do know about this.
Drum roll. We are going to have a book club, my friends. Are you ready?
So excited.
Oh my gosh. Second week of September. Let me tell you, you don't miss out on 3 at 3, the second week of September. September 9th, 10th, and 11th. We have 3 different books we are focusing on. And this is just the beginning. If it goes well, if you guys end up enjoying this idea, you may see more future episodes of Book Club. And we're letting you know about it now, because if you want to join in on the conversation, we want you to be a part of it. So what are the books that I've decided to select?
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't easy.
It was not easy. She asked me and I said, which one?
I
don't
know.
They are all
So
fantastic
the first one,
books.
Nightingale. Oh my goodness. So excited about that.
I'm going to reread it for this.
Excellent book. 2
Loved it.
sisters, takes place during World War II, and a beautiful story.
Absolutely
Race's
beautiful.
Nightingale is amazing.
Oh my gosh, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
And Jacqueline wants to start reading more. Yes, 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 yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to read these books now. We want you to join us. And if you don't want to do all 3, if you don't have time to do all 3, just choose one of them.
Oh, but which one do you choose?
I know, right?
Choosing
They're all
between
so
books
good.
is so hard.
It's so hard. So you just might as well read all 3 or listen to the audio
You know what?
version.
I've read 2 of them, but I
Yeah.
listened
Yes,
to
you did.
The Giver of Stars.
The Giver of Stars.
And
you
it
loved
was-
it, didn't you?
I finished it in 4 days.
Yeah.
So, you
yeah,
know,
it's so good.
it's amazing.
So what we'll do is each day we're going to talk about that book, and then we're going to share with you a project inspired by that book. So we're combining our
Ooh.
love of reading with our love of sewing and quilting and bringing those 2 worlds together. So Monday, September 9th is going to be the Nightingale. September 10th, we're focusing on the boys in the boat. Oh, okay.
So
I know
good.
many of you have probably watched the movie, but you gotta read the book.
Try the book.
Try the book. It's so good. And then on Wednesday is The Giver of Stars. And Jess just finished it, and you loved it, didn't you?
Loved it.
Now, this is a book that takes place in the 1930s about a group of women who would ride horseback to the outskirts of Kentucky. They were the first traveling librarians.
Yeah.
Okay.
Traveling librarians.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's hear it for the traveling librarians. So, have any of you read these books? Tell us in the comments what you think. Or, are you excited about book club? I can't wait. And I can't wait to see the projects that have been inspired by these
I know.
books.
I think that's what I'm excited too. It's
Yeah.
like, there's so many different elements of the
Yeah.
books. I'm like,
Yeah.
they could do this, they could do that.
I know.
I'm excited to see
I
what
know.
they come
I
up
think
with.
that's been the hardest thing, is trying to decide. The day that that I'm working on right now is the Nightingale. I'm having a hard time deciding what project I want. It's almost I got things in the works, but I'm working on it.
I'm literally
I'm
just
having a tough
thinking
time.
bookmarks of the books.
Oh, yeah,
bookmarks for the
bookmarks,
books would be
just
perfect.
small
Little
ones.
bonus
Yes,
projects there.
Yes, exactly. So I know some of you are like, now which one? Which one? So we hope you'll join us for that, because I think we're gonna have
September
a great time.
9th through the 11th.
9th through the 11th.
Okay.
So join us for that. Looks like Kim Baker has read Boys in the Boat. She says it is so good. Kathy loved The Nightingale and Boys in the Boat. She's excited to read Giver of the Stars. So, The Giver of Stars. I know.
They're so good.
It's going to be fun. So we hope you'll join us for that. And even if you don't have a chance to read it, join us anyway, because you might be learning something new,
Yeah.
right?
And hey, you get a fun project out of it
Why
too.
not? Why not?
to learn.
Exactly. So, and then of course, before we wrap things up today, we want to make sure and tell you about Swig. It's coming up this Thursday. Cannot wait. I'm going to have Jack in the studio with me. Jack from Caterpillar. We're going to talk all things Caterpillar. So join us for that, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And it's going to be right here on our Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel. You are not going to want to miss. Not only are we going to have the best deals around, but we also have some great giveaways that we're doing.
Ooh.
So be tuning in for that. Mark your calendars. It's just a few days away. And you can also, if you will let people know, let your friends know about SWIG, we're going to have a great time. So it's this coming Thursday, just a few days away, 6 p.m. And we're also going to debut the brand new flip and fold cutting mat, which is absolutely incredible. Now, one more thing to also add to this before we end today is, as you know, many of you are aware, we have all kinds of construction going on outside our doors. So what we've heard from Comcast, and that's our internet cable company, is that we may experience some issues tomorrow. And is it throughout the week, Eric? All week long, starting tomorrow. We are hoping that we don't have too many issues, especially during 3 Things at 3. We would hate that, right?
Yeah.
But just know we're doing our best, and there's only so much you can do. But the show will be recorded and it will be reposted. So if we have any kind of glitches at all starting tomorrow, just know
It'll be covered.
Recorded and it's covered. So
Cool.
we don't want you to miss, because we have some great shows lined up for you
It's
this
just
week.
the saying of the show must go on.
Exactly. The show must go on regardless of what's happening outside. All right, friends, we hope you've enjoyed today. Thank you so much for being with us as always. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep doing all the things you love. Thank you both for being on with me.
It's been so fun.
You've made a mom super duper proud. So
This was fun to be on.
yeah.
Love it.
We'll see you again real soon, everyone. Bye-bye.